Hello everyone, welcome back to Bite Size Wisdom. In today's video, we are talking about something super important, the basic math you should know before learning AI. Now don't worry, I promise to keep it simple with analogies, no jargon, and easy to understand examples. Now you might be thinking, do I really need to be a math wizard to learn AI? The good news is no. But you need to understand some basic math ideas to understand what's going on under the hood. Because if data is the fuel for AI, math is the engine behind it. So let's roll up our sleeves and explore the basic algebra, where we will learn about variables and functions, and linear algebra, where you will learn about vectors, matrices, matrix multiplication, and so on. These core concepts will lay a strong foundation and ease you into the world of artificial intelligence. At its core, algebra is just about working with symbols and unknowns like variables x and y. It lets us create rules and relationships. If I tell you a pizza costs $10 and you bought x number of pizzas, your total bill is going to be 10 times x. This is a simple algebraic equation. Another key idea is solving equations. That just means figuring out what number makes an equation true. Let's say 5x plus 3 equals 18. We can solve for x by subtracting 3 on both the sides and dividing by 5, which gives us the value of 3. That's all algebra is, a way to find answers when not everything is known yet. Now, let's talk about functions. A function is just a rule that takes an input and gives an output. Think of it like a blender. You put in the fruits, which are your input, and get a smoothie, which is your output. The function is the recipe that decides how the fruits are blended. In math, if we say f of x equals 2x plus 1, it means take a number, double it, and add 1 to it. So if x happens to be 3, then f of 3 is 2 times 3 plus 1, which is a value of 7. In AI, almost everything from predictions to errors is modeled using functions. We give the machine input and it gives us an output. The math behind that is a function. A special kind of function we use all the time is a linear equation. These are straight line relationships, very predictable and easy to work with. For example, y equals mx plus b, where m is a slope or how steep the line is, and b is where the line starts or intercepts on the y-axis. Now, let's move to linear algebra, the language of modern AI. If algebra is about solving for unknowns, linear algebra is about working with sets of numbers, usually organized in things called vectors and matrices. A vector is just a list of numbers, like a one-dimensional array. Imagine you are describing a fruit. Let's say the sweetness is 7, color intensity is 5, and the size is 3. You can represent this fruit as a vector format as 7, 5, and 3. In AI, we use vectors to represent all kinds of data. An image becomes a long vector of pixel values. A sentence becomes a vector of word scores. You don't need to know all the math behind it now. Just remember, a vector is a way to turn real things like text or images into numbers we can calculate with. Next up is matrices. If a vector is a list of numbers, a matrix is a grid. It is a collection of vectors like a table of numbers. Let's say you are tracking three fruits, each with three characteristics: sweetness, color, and size. You could store all that information in a 3 by 3 matrix as you see here. Each row is a vector. Together, they form a matrix. This is how data is structured in AI, especially when it is fed into models. Now let's switch gears and talk about matrix multiplication. This part may sound scary, but let's simplify it. Matrix multiplication is like combining two grids to produce a new one. You take rows of one matrix and multiply them with the columns from the another. Imagine you are calculating total cost and you have two matrices. The first matrix contains quantity of items and the second matrix contains prices per item. Matrix multiplication gives you the total costs for every combination. In AI, this is how we combine data with weights to make predictions. Next, let's talk about inverse. The inverse of a matrix is like the undo button. If multiplying by a matrix is like applying a filter or transformation, the inverse reverses it. As an analogy, let's imagine encrypting a message with a secret code, which is applying a matrix. The inverse is what lets you decrypt it and get the original form back. In real world AI, inverse matrices helps when solving systems of equations like finding the best fit line. Now, we covered a lot of ground in this short video, but you need to understand you don't need to master every math formula out there. But understanding what vectors, matrices, and transformations mean will help you think like an AI engineer. If you're still here, give yourself a high five. You just explored the math foundations of AI in just under 10 minutes. In the next video, we will dive into basic programming skills you need to master AI. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what topic you would like me to cover next. Thanks for watching Bite Size Wisdom, where we make complex topics easy to digest. See you in the next video.